Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to make a white sauce today. I'm also going to put on a different video on how to make a white sauce in the all-in-one method, but for now I'm going to be showing you how to make a traditional roux, which is same ingredients, butter, flour and milk, but the way in which you do a traditional roux is you melt the butter first. Now guys, when you first start making a white sauce like this, please take it off the heat once the butter has melted to add the flour and then add the milk gradually, because it's much quicker, much easier for you to incorporate it without lumps. Right, so I've melted that and I have got 1 large tablespoon of butter in there, and I'm going to add the same amount of flour. And I'm just going to cook that a little so that the flour, the rawness, gets cooked out of the flour. Alright, and then I have my milk here. I'm just making a small amount of white sauce. I'm going to add my milk, guys, and don't add milk all in one go because you will get lumps, and do add it in stages, otherwise it becomes very, very difficult to get the lumps out. You'll see as we go along that you'll get it to this consistency. Add the milk and you'll get it to the same consistency again. Go a little bit slower when you've just added the milk. Right, I want to make sure that I've got no lumps before I add my next lot. Now, the science behind this is that you are coating all the flour particles with fat. And because you are doing that, because you're coating them all with fat, you are then preventing them from sticking together and forming lumps. Right, but I do find that the all-in-one method, and guys, the all-in-one method I use more often than a roux, is just as easy and very quick, because you just put all the ingredients into one pot and then heat it up. This way takes a little bit more concentration, and you can't walk away from it, guys. You have to make sure that you are here and that you are stirring. Right, when you get to this stage, you can add all your milk. Now, please make sure that you are stirring and you're getting around the edges of the pan as well. Now, what's going to happen is we are making a thickened sauce here. Same principle applies really for any sauce that you want thickened, gravy, doesn't matter what you're making. We are making a thickened flour sauce here, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that the flour at the bottom doesn't cook faster than the flour that's at the top of the sauce. Alright, so we want to make sure that we are stirring at the bottom and collecting all the flour that's getting the most heat, because guys, what happens is the flour particles they start absorbing the liquid, and as they absorb the liquid, that's how it thickens. And if you don't stir it, you are going to get lumps at the bottom and the sauce on top is not going to be thick. So we keep stirring, and then I'll show you what your white sauce should look like when it gets thick. Now guys, also a white sauce goes from thin to thick in a moment. It just seems to happen all in one go, and you'll start to feel it thicken as you feel the resistance of the liquid against your wooden spoon. And keep going. I have so many of you who stop at this stage and just say, "Mum, miss, it's not getting thicker, it's not getting thicker." I promise you it will get thicker, so just please be patient and you'll see how quickly it happens when it does happen. So just going to keep stirring, and I'm making like a figure of 8 motion. And guys, the most important thing about this is that we are doing a process called gelatinization. So when the flour particles absorb the water, they become gelatinized. So that's something that you'll get in pretty much any exam, or a lot of exams, but a lot of exam questions will cover that, gelatinization. Now, it doesn't just happen in this, it happens in many different kinds of sauces. You can use corn flour. There are newer versions that can happen. When a jelly, that's also gelatinization. So gelatinization is thickening. Right, we're almost there. And I can feel the resistance against my spoon, and you can hear it. Can you hear the sound of the heat at the bottom when I stir it? Now guys, the white sauce will naturally thicken when it gets cooler. So don't make your sauce too thick at this stage, because you actually want it to thicken in the oven. So if you're making macaroni and cheese, you want this to thicken inside the oven. Lasagna, all of those. So the way to tell in which your white sauce is done, which I know it is, so I'm going to show you now. So take the back of your spoon and just run your hand, well, do it with a teaspoon, not with a finger like me. But if the sauce doesn't come together, you know your white sauce is thick enough. Alright, and that's it. That's your white sauce done.